Rachel, we're ready to go.
All right. Welcome, everyone, to the Hardin Local Weekly
Right.
Podcast. I am Rachel
Here you go.
Brantingham. Nope. Can you hear
One
me now?
second, guys. We're starting with the new software. All right, go for it.
Okay, awesome. Welcome, everyone, to the Hardin Local Weekly Podcast. I am, of course, Rachel Brantingham. And yes, I am back. Thank you to Phil and the crew for holding it down while I was on a short family vacation. It is good to be back home in Hardin County. And what a show to come back to. In just a minute, the Kentucky State Treasurer, Mark H. Metcalf, he joins us live. Thank you, Mark, for joining us, because there is $11.3 million sitting unclaimed right here in Hardin County. And this Friday, his team is setting up at the Government Center to help you claim yours. Here's your homework. While you watch, have you ever found unclaimed money? Search the list, found a forgotten check, an old account. Drop your story in the comments, and we're reading them at the end of the show. Then, through today's show, one of my favorite traditions in the county, we've got White Mills Days. It is back, and it's its 51st year. That is August 14th and 15th. And Laura Nall from the White Mills Civic League is with us to walk through the whole weekend. Welcome, Laura. The parade stew route, the duck race, the secret recipe barbecue chicken, all of it. We are spreading that across the show, so stick around. Plus, John's got the calendar, and Saturday, it's a big one. We've got a charity beard competition. John, you better have entered. It's at the American Legion. We've got a regional 3-on-3 soccer at the sports park, and so much more. And of course, I am back with your housing market update. Phil and Scott, you did a fantastic job last week. In fact, maybe even better than I do it. The numbers are going to be very interesting, and I think they'll spell out a little bit of maybe what sellers and buyers are feeling in the current market condition. And of course, as everyone knows, Bryan is here with our business buzz, and there's some cool things happening. So, all right, real quick, I want to introduce the crew to you. I've got Phil Tall, who is he is actually the founder of Hardin Local. I've got Scott Lucas, who is my co-host. I've got Jon O'Brien, who does events and happenings. Nate Bryan with business news and updates. We've got Britton and Michelle should be joining us from the Experienced Eaters. And of course, you all know me. Before we get rolling, Hardin Local is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. So if you listen to podcasts on any of those platforms, please follow us there. Everything lives at hardinlocal.com. The full weekly events calendar, every past episode, segment articles, and the email newsletter. Sign up so you never miss what we cover. Follow us on LinkedIn, subscribe on YouTube, and if you're watching on Facebook right now, do me a favor and hit that follow button. We love to interact with you throughout the whole podcast. So drop comments, questions, events, and business tips in the chat. We actually read those live. And shout out, personal, business, make sure to drop them in there as well, and we'll read them at the end of the show. All right. So I teased at the top, $11.3 million unclaimed in Hardin County. I am so curious about this. That's a lot of money. Phil, take it away.
All right. Before we get rolling, we have a special guest joining us. We're honored to have Kentucky State Treasurer Mark H. Metcalf with us for a few minutes. Treasurer, thank you for being.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Yes. Let's start with the basics. A lot of folks have never heard of the Unclaimed Property Program. What is it, and how does everyday money go missing in the first?
Unclaimed money goes missing just like you lose your keys sometimes, or you forget to lock your doors. Unclaimed money, unclaimed property includes not only cash, it includes bullion. We're holding bullion. We're holding jewelry and precious metals in addition to, let's say, in addition to silver bars that we are holding. And all of this very secure under lock and key. Unclaimed property is the deposit your college graduate made with a landlord but forgot to collect before they moved back home to a job. It is overpaid insurance premiums, unclaimed death benefits from an insurance policy. It could be an uncashed paycheck that we come into possession of as unclaimed property. The expression that it escheats to the state is an accurate use of the word, but Kentucky does not believe in owning other people's property. So no escheats are permanent, and we try to get property back as quickly as possible to those who own it. So we have a very, what we call lean forward type program. The unclaimed property that we're talking about today that was mentioned, $11.3 million, we're going to be hosting a roadshow at the Government Center in Elizabethtown on Friday from 10 until 1 p.m. That's an opportunity for Hardin Countyans to come visit us. We'll look at their claims. We'll help them make their claims, and then we will very promptly get their money back to them. That's it in a nutshell. But presently, we're managing, in round numbers, 1.2 billion dollars of Kentuckians' money.
I can vouch for this personally too. A year or two ago, I was telling you, when we were talking yesterday, I searched the site and found about $1,500 I had no idea existed. But Treasurer, my number is nothing next to some of yours. Tell folks about the biggest return you've been part of.
Well, I personally facilitated the return of $1.7 million from an estate, a man who passed away in Garrett County. We knew nothing of his ownership of this property. It wasn't included in his estate, and the way we obtained it was we were noticed by his brokerage that there were accounts that had gone dormant, and after 3 years, they sent to us the money. I called the family after I realized the identity of the person. I knew the family personally, and I told them that this asset was not included in their loved one's asset. In a period of about a month, 5 weeks, we returned to them $1.7 million. How did this happen? He would frequently brag in a nice way that he could live on $2,000 a month. What he wasn't telling his family was that he was saving his Social Security and his retirement income into several brokerage accounts. He was managing those accounts not on a home computer, a laptop, desktop. He was actually managing them at the Garrett County Public Library. He did not save the password, so no one knew to look for this property. And even if they knew, they couldn't have access to his accounts because they didn't have the passwords. The result was that we were holding $1.7 million, which we returned earlier this year. That's the biggest amount that I have personally been involved in return.
That is quite the claim. And here's the number that got our attention: $11.3 million sitting unclaimed in Hardin County. Is that right?
That's right. That's in a round figure. It probably is a little bit more, but yes.
All right. So this Friday, July 24th, your team sets up right here, Hardin County Government Center, 150 North Provident Way, third floor conference room, 10 a.m. to 1. What should people bring, and can they actually claim on the spot?
They can actually claim on the spot. Now, we will not be writing checks on the spot. We always validate claims. We make certain that the claimant is who they say they are. And if it's an estate, we make certain that they are a beneficiary of the estate. If we're talking about a person who died without a will, we certainly want to make certain that the court has recognized the claimant as a beneficiary at law, an heir at law. We have a lot of protocols that we follow, and despite checking all these blocks, we generally speaking get money back very quickly to the claimants. But to answer your question, we will try to provide them guidance that will enable them to get their money back very quickly, regardless of whether they apply online or they meet us at Government Center.
All right. And if you can't make it Friday, you kind of already answered it. You can still check right now from your phone, right? Walk us through.
You certainly can. Let's do this. For those who are listening, go to your handheld, go to your laptop, your desktop, and in your search bar, type in treasury.ky.gov. Treasury.ky.gov.
I
You'll
have it on
get
the
to
screen
our
as well for you.
you'll get to our website, and you will see on the left-hand side a plus sign. Click the plus sign, and now click Search for Unclaimed Property, which is at the top of the left-hand column. Now you're in our website for searching for unclaimed property. On the bottom line, type in Elizabethtown. On the middle line, type in your first name. And on the top line, type in your last name. And then click Search Property. It's that simple. That user friendly, and we've made it even friendlier since we took over, and we're very proud of our accomplishments in terms of making everything a bit more user friendly than it was.
All right.
Now, you're going to find that you either have property or you don't. If you have property, what will happen is the screen will alert you by showing you we're managing for you. The ranges are $10 or less, $10 to $100, and $100 and more. We do not publish online what you're entitled to because that encourages theft. It encourages fraud and impersonation. Once we know that you are who you say you are, that you have a right to the money, we discuss in specifics, right down to the cent, what we owe you.
All right. Yeah, and I tried that again yesterday, found a few more bucks. They work pretty easy. Pretty nice system, actually. I give you guys a lot of credit for working on that. I think it's better than it used to be.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We do too.
Yes. One more thing you told me about that I think people should hear. The Unclaimed Property Fund can now be used to collect unpaid child support and criminal restitution. How does that work?
Well, I was a prosecutor and a judge for 30 years. I come to this job as having been a private practitioner, assistant Commonwealth's attorney, and an elected county attorney. The result of that experience is that we had a fund called the Unclaimed Property Trust Fund. It has $1.2 billion in it, and we've opened the fund up to claims for unpaid child support or delinquent child support, and also restitution or criminal restitution. We do that by asking the claimant, let's say the mom who hasn't received her child support, we ask them on their own, check the Unclaimed Property Trust Fund database, which we've just done. If you find the name of the person who owes you the money, take it to your county attorney who has represented you or still represents you, and they will get in touch with the Attorney General's office. This is all very user-friendly. There's the Division of Child Support Enforcement. They're going to ask, tell us the payor. In other words, the person who owes the money, the payee, the person who's supposed to receive it, and how much is due. After all setups, so all the past child support that was paid has been subtracted. We've got a good number to work with. Once we have that, the Unclaimed Property, the Division of Child Support Enforcement contacts our Division of Unclaimed Property, the Unclaimed Property Trust Fund, and we find the money. And we send a check to the Division of Child Support Enforcement, and they process the payment back to the recipient. Now, what I've described to you may sound like a lot of steps, a lot of blocks to check. It actually is very simple, happens very quickly, and we're very proud of the system we've set up. We've also done the same thing for restitution, criminal restitution. Recently, a $5.2 million fraud judgment was handed down in the Eastern District of Kentucky. That's the federal district in Lexington. The courts contacted us. They found that $40,000 was in our accounts that belonged to the fraudster, but not anymore. We set off against that judgment by sending to the courts $40,000, which was then distributed to the people who've been defrauded of their money. We also are collecting court costs, fines, and restitution. So it's the same thing that we would do as a county attorney, we're now doing as the state treasurer's office.
That's good information to know. So I know we covered a lot of information there, and the message is pretty simple. It costs nothing to check. There's 11.3 million waiting right here in Hardin County, and the team will be at the government center this Friday, 10 to 1. Let me back up for you guys so you can see Hardin County Government, Friday, July 4th, 10 a.m., 1 p.m. If you can't make it, search anytime at treasury.ky.gov. Treasurer Metcalf, really appreciate you coming. Is there anything else that you wanted to say before hop off?
Well, first of all, thank you again for having me. We are an accessible, available office. I try to run this office the same way I did when I was county attorney in Garrett County. I never left the office if there were people waiting to see me in the lobby. We still conduct business that way. And the other thing to add is last Christmas, we were having our Christmas luncheon. But there were people who came into the office who needed to be waited on. They had a claim they wanted satisfied. My unclaimed property staff was having lunch. My wife and I went out to the lobby. We greeted them. We brought them a soft drink and gingerbread while we waited for the staff to finish lunch. We visited with them. We saw them 3 months later at a restaurant in Lexington. They remembered us and they came up to thank us. That's for waiting on them. So that's the kind of office we run, and we intend to do that as long as we serve the people of Kentucky.
All right. Treasurer Metcalf, well, we thank you for making a Hardin County stop, and we do appreciate the work you're doing. It's important. And
thank you. It's an honor.
If you ever need to come back and share anything with us, just let us know. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
I have to speak to how simple the site was. I just did it while we were listening, and several $100 that was mine that I had no idea about. So, and I cashed it all out and it's being mailed to me. So super cool. Thank you. That 11 million, that's crazy. I sent that link out to everybody I loved and told them to get on there right away and check. So go check, folks. Tell us in the comments what you find. Now, I teased a little bit at the top. 51 years of White Mills Days. Let's bring in Laura Knoll. So this is one I've been looking forward to. White Mills Days is back for its 51st year, and the woman who runs the entire thing is here with us. Laura Knoll, welcome back to Hardin Local.
Thank you.
You came on last year for the 50th, and now how fast that went by. We're here again. For anyone who's never made the drive out to White Mills, set the scene. What is White Mills Day?
White Mills Day is a celebration of community. We have events for everyone. A few years ago, we added a duck race on the Nolan River. We actually have White Mills Days on the campus of the White Mills Christian Camp, and it's right on the banks of the Nolan River. We have the one-lane iron bridge there that's a historic thing in and of itself. So it's a community event that enriches the lives of our community and the neighbors we have.
That's amazing. Scott, did you have a question you wanted to specifically ask? Well, I think your question was, what keeps a small community event going that long? I mean, how is something that, is as small of a community as White Mills is, how do they continue to keep bringing this back year over year? What is it that drives?
Well, the White Mills Civic League is the driving force behind White Mills Day. And we are now into, I'd say at least the third or fourth generation of being members of the Civic League and working hard to make our community the place that it is. So when the Civic League started, it was kind of like the booster club for the White Mills Volunteer Fire Department, because that was when fire departments were coming into the area and everything. So we've kind of evolved into our own thing, and we just try to do things to make the community a good place.
That's awesome. How excited are you?
I'm pretty excited. This takes a lot of work and a lot of people, but it's such a proud time when the day happens, all the events fall into place. You see people you haven't seen that come back in, just to see people in the community that visit just from time to time. So it's a great event, and we look forward to it every year.
That is amazing. So it sounds like the energy behind this is just the community effort that brings it
Yes.
all together.
Yes.
How many
And the
volunteers?
Civic League meets on Tuesday, the third Tuesday of every month at 7 p.m. at the White Mills Civic League building beside the post office. Anybody that's, and let me just say, White Mills is, I have a Cecilia address. So if we only had the people that live in White Mills, wouldn't be very many people. So we call ourselves White Mills people, but we might not live right exactly geographically in White Mills.
I think that's beautiful. How many volunteers do you think are involved with pulling this event off this weekend?
Well, our meetings, we usually have about 25 people show up, but each of the people that we have that's the chairperson of an individual event gets their own workforce together. So there's literally hundreds of people doing behind the scenes jobs, serving food, getting sponsors, running games, just all kinds of events that take place.
That's amazing. And y'all have to be so proud. I mean, 51 years consecutively. Like, that is an incredible accomplishment.
I think we didn't have it in COVID year, but 51 years.
Makes sense. Yeah. But you probably wanted to, you just couldn't.
Oh,
So-
yes. Oh, yes.
Well, awesome. Well, we're going to go into like the actual weekend in a few minutes because there's a lot packed in there. What you referenced, a duck race. I mean, I'm so excited to get into this and find out a lot more. So, Laura, stick around. But first, we've got this week's calendar with Jon O'Brien on what's happening in Hardin County. All right, Jon, well, take it away. What do we got going on? I can't hear Jon. Hold on one second, Jon. We can't hear you. But your beard looks great.
You look right. That's just trying to use it.
And I can see your lips moving. So can you just do sign language for us? I knew that event was happening. You're right.
You get the AirPod. Oh wait. Gotcha.
Hello.
Yes, there you are.
All right, yeah, all right. So let's go. Yeah, I was just saying no. I mean, I know some sign, but no, I don't. I could not say the whole thing in sign language. But yeah, we got a lot going on. Being the beard is a big part of it this weekend. We got Beard America 3 Revolutions going on this Saturday. Registrations at 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. The competition starts from 4 to 8 at the American Legion. And it's not just beards. There's also Uncle Sam's Sweetheart Pageants, which is kind of like a little pinup themed pageant held during Beard America. But it's not only men that can wear beards. They've got 2 female categories of fake beards. There's most realistic and most creative on fake beards. So, Rachel, if you wanted to create something, it's not just us fellas that have a beard. It's those. Yeah, exactly. So that would be, you could do like a most realistic. It looks good.
It's not a bad look, actually.
That's right. I feel, and you kind of feel comfy with it. It's like a blanket that you take with you all the time. It's a security blanket that you always got.
It comes with my double chin.
Oh man, that's one thing I've always said. I have a beard because I don't want anybody looking at my chin. Yeah, for sure. So that's a fun time. Again, third year they've been doing it. It's a great cause. It's to kind of raise money for the animal shelter. Which animal is that? It's pet rescue. The Forever Homes for Paws. Yep. And they collect food throughout the year too. They just do a lot of good stuff for that charity. So 16 categories. If you know somebody that has a beard or even doesn't have a beard that wants to kind of get in that creative fake beard competition, check it out. Also out there by there, Ring Road Softball Complex, there's a kickball event, not associated, but still kind of a cool event going on. So if you like kickball and like to watch kickball, that was my favorite sport in like middle school and PE. That was like the fun one to do. Everybody could play a little kickball. All right. Do you know anybody that would be in this beard battle? put the name down here, tag them in this message, in this live feed, and maybe they'll see if they can sign up for that. Again, the sign up is from 2 to 4 that day, Saturday. Anybody you all think would be good at this?
You and Phil.
See, I've always been approached by people that have beard clubs and they're like, oh, you should. I'm like, I do this because I'm lazy. I don't like to take time to trim or shave. I have a beard because I'm lazy, and also nobody wants to see this without the beard. I'll tell you that right now.
I think I'd like you to dig out from the archives a picture. I want to see a picture of John without a beard.
Oh, if you want to see it, there's one on my Facebook profile pictures. Just if anybody wants to find it, go there. It's a public thing. Nobody wants to see that though. It's still there, but I think it was probably that was 2010. That's the last time I was fully shaved. I did it right before I got married, and I was about to donate my hair, and I wanted to see what I looked like with no beard and long hair. So that's what it was, and it's not good.
Not allowed to be beardless either. Michelle's seen me one time cleanly shaven, and our age difference is bad enough as it is for her, she says, and so yeah. Because if I instantly want to look 20 years younger, all I have to do is shave, and I look like I'm 12. So, yeah, I mean, so the beard is a necessity in the McDowell family.
That's it, yeah. And mine's weird because I couldn't even grow a beard till I was like 20 or so. Like I had none. It was clean shaven until I was like 20. Not even shaving. I didn't even know how to shave. But it just came all on.
Eli was the same way, very patchy until about 21, 22. And now he looks like Grizzly Adams. His beard and hair are the same length. Yep.
It just comes on like that. But again, if you know somebody, tell them head out to this. It's a great cause. Great people running that. Check it out. But again, we got other things going on this week as well. If you like that comedy, there's the Americana Tour, Jeff Heffron at Crown Point on Friday, nationally touring stand-up comic. He was on Last Comic Standing, the winner. Comedy Central, NBC, Netflix credits. He's all over there. He will be in E-Town this Friday. Also Friday, we got Art Unscripted, After Dark. Friday at Water's Edge. 7 p.m. is when the doors open. 8 to 11 is when the show starts. If you want to get in there early and have a cheaper ticket, $30 in advance, $35 at the door. It's going to be live art, comedians, a violinist, DJ, spoken word, light bites. So those little things you want to eat and kind of enjoy the evening and not get too full. They got you taken care of. Also, Kevin Jaggers is going to be at Bourbon Barrel Tavern. He's always one not to be missed. So if you're out and about and want to hear some good music, come check it out at BBT. There is also a 3-on-3 soccer regional at the Sports Park, 3 p.m. on Saturday. Under the lights, boys and girls, 6 and under to 19 and under, plus adult divisions. Division winners will punch a free ticket at the Nationals in Panama City Beach. So that's kind of a cool thing to kind of get into that next level. So we've got a 82nd Guam Liberation Kentucky celebration going on in Vine Grove. Bring a side dish if you want to bring something to eat. All those side dishes are great. I made something this past weekend for my buddy Steve Hackett. Today is his birthday, by the way. If anybody doesn't know Hollywood Hackett in town, you need to know this guy. He's a fun guy. He loves trains. That's why I'm wearing the train shirt for his birthday. But I made this side dish. It was like a elote pasta salad. It's killer. So that would be a good little side dish. If you guys want the recipe, comment below and we'll get that out to you too for this Guam celebration. All right, full week. Again, everything we can't get to, it'll be on the Hardin Local page. If you guys have any questions about anything, let us know. We'll let you know. But all this info will be on the Hardin Local page. Go there. That'll have all your info for you.
Yeah, and I wanted to bring up real quick that we have some comments. I can't put them on screen yet. The new system I'll have that ready for next week. But I'm going to go ahead and read a couple because I have to do it. First of all, we had David Mather. He said, I'm at home on the front porch watching through Facebook on my iPhone. Well, David, we appreciate it. Keep quiet. And then we had Bussin' Food Truck. That's that Bussin' Pizza Truck. Excuse me. The food trucks will be at Phillips Grove 4 to 7. And then Farmers Market 5 to 8 tonight is planned. Truck lineup may change because of the possible weather. And also we have April Patterson, Babyface Brit. Something special.
April Patterson is the mother of my children. So she knows that game since about 99 actually, I think, or something like that. So yeah, 98 actually. There we go.
Britton, we need to see that as well. I'm going to need a picture. I need to share those with our audience, please. Awesome. Well, thank you, Jon.
Rachel, no. Actually, I think there is a picture on my Facebook page, but you know, I'm not going to throw that out there. You can do your own digging.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I trim my beard daily, so you'll never see me with a beard. Crazy.
Let me throw that card up there for everybody just to see. I made a little fancy card for the stream. You guys can't see it, but it just is for the Beard America card talking about it. And it benefits Forever Home. So let's get your jingle going. Jon, jingle you out of here. And don't forget, guys, go to hardinlocal.com/this-week, or just go to hardinlocal.com and hit this week button. That way you can check out what else is that.
All right. So speaking of events, we are back with Laura Knoll and White Mills Days at August 14th and 15th. So do me a favor, pull out your calendar and go ahead and mark that you're going to want to be at White Mills Days on August 14th and 15th. This is going to be an epic event. So Laura, let's walk through it just a bit, and let's start with Friday night first. What can we expect if we're attending on Friday evening?
Friday night, we open up at 5 p.m. with concessions and vendor openings. From 5 to 7, the West Hardin Fire and Rescue will sponsor a Touch a Truck event. That's a big one for the kids. They get to climb in an ambulance on a fire truck. Last year, we even had Air Methods air ambulance land, so they could take a look at that. So that's a very popular event. And all events are pretty much free. We have the pedal pool registration for kids and adults alike. It's weighted in, class weighted, so even up to adults can do the pedal pool. We'll have a cakewalk, mini train rides. We have a putt-putt golf course set up. We have a free kids zone with prizes that the kids can win, and so family friendly because it is free. They can play as often as they want, as many games as they want. There's a baby contest that starts at 6 o'clock. Also a pet show. Baby contest actually has categories from newborn to 3 years old. At 6:30, there's a hog calling and a husband calling contest. There you go. Think about that for a
That
while.
husband call.
Yeah,
What's that all about?
Like
What's
like
that?
nobody's home, right? How many times you got to call before they answer? So yeah, anybody that I'm pretty loud, but I've never entered the contest yet. But yeah, they'll get to one side of the field and the other side of the field and see who will answer and who won't. So that's a lot of fun, and this is all just community based, clean, fun, kind of old school carnival type game. Just something just to simplify life, not a bunch of video games and things. It's all just clean community fun. We also have the Little Miss and Little Master contest, so that'll be from 4 and up. And we have beauty contest categories all the way up to the age of 21. So there's something for everyone. Now at 7:30, it's going to be our 4th annual Rubber Duck River Race on the Nolan River. Now, if you've never seen this, you need to make plans. There's 500 rubber ducks in the Nolan River. We put them in upstream, and they look like they're not really moving, but then all of a sudden they get to the dam and they all fly different directions going over the dam. And then they race, and when they get under the bridge, there's a person wearing an actual rubber duck ring, and the first 3 that come to him are the winners. The first place winner wins $300, second place $200, and third place $100. So for a $5 donation, you get a duck with a number. You won't actually touch your duck, but you'll know your number, and that's how you win the race. So anybody that wants a ticket, we'll have them available later today, and you can just text me or put a message on the White Mills Day Facebook page, and you can purchase your ducks and hope you'll be a winner.
How
One
fun is
news
that?
flash for this whole thing. We have Michael Breen with Breen's Lens that is going to drone video the rubber duck race this year. This is a first for us. Usually you watch the race from the bridge, but as we all know, the White Mills Bridge is closed right now. There is a space that you can stand on the beach by the river and watch, but this will allow us, we're hoping to simulcast, or it'll be live on Facebook, and you can actually watch from wherever you are to see this race happen. So we're crossing our fingers we can get that going, but for sure it will be on for Facebook by video later on if it doesn't get simulcast. But we're really looking forward to that. I think that's really going to be impressive.
That is, I mean, you mentioned earlier that it was good, clean, fun, and I mean, everything that you just described to me sounds like just exactly that, like a good time to be out there with kids with all these different events. I'm hugely impressed. I can now understand why you have so many volunteers that support with putting all of this on, because this is a lot of different fun activities just for a Friday evening. So to reiterate, it starts at 5 p.m. on Friday.
Starts at 5 p.m. and then our after the duck race at 8 o'clock to 9:30, we're going to have Oakley Strader and Tri-County reunion. That is a free concert. Anybody show up, and then we'll close that night out at 9:30 with fireworks.
Well, we're going to be in attendance because that all sounds right up
Great.
our alley. That sounds so fun, and I think I'm very competitive. I have to at least buy 1 or 2 ducks.
There
Maybe
you
we'll
go.
buy
That's
3 and
good.
see if Max, Xander, I win. Okay,
Hopefully it
well,
won't be. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I'm gonna just because this reminded me of a funny story that Kevin Jaggers told us after the last fight. Was it White Mills Day? Where it was so hot he fainted on stage that it was the first time he ever
After the show, at the end of the
Yeah.
show, the
Yeah.
show went on. Do not worry.
Oh, he said he finished it. He said you guys were so nice about it too, making sure he was okay and everything. But
Yeah.
figured I'd throw that in there. That's kind of a not a funny. It's funny in hindsight. I'm glad he was.
Right.
bless his heart. Well, Friday night sounds amazing. So then we roll into Saturday. What can I expect when I bring my boys on Saturday?
Well, on Saturday morning, the Central Kentucky Wheelmen are going to guide a bike ride around White Mills. You'll actually meet at 8 a.m. at the White Mills Christian Church parking lot. They'll go out Cave Road. I don't know exactly the route they're taking, but if you ever wanted to ride with some good riders that know where to, take a ride to, you do need to wear a helmet. Any small children, I mean, it's a family-free event, so families can join, but you must be teenage to go on your own. At 8:30 a.m., we've got a 5K race that starts and ends at the White Mills Post Office. It will have a different route also this year due to the bridge being down, but it will still happen. It will start at the post office and end there. So that's usually very popular. I think we had 70 some runners in that last year, so that is big. The parade will line up at the White Mills Ballpark, and then at 10 a.m., the parade will start. So you want me to go over the new route with the bridge down?
Sure, give us just an overview.
Okay, so the route is going to leave the ballpark and turn right onto Highway 84. When they get to the fire department, they're going to turn left onto Old White Mills Road. That will allow them to go by Linville School, the post office, where it normally would go anyway. Then when they get back out to 84, they're going to turn right onto Highway 84, go to Cave Road and turn right again, and they will end at the White Mills Christian Camp. So that's where the parade will end. If you're in the car show and you're in the parade, then you can pull off at the car show. If you're driving a tractor and you're going to be in the tractor show, you can end there. Or the camp has a road around it and they can circle around and head back to the starting destination if that's what they need to do.
Awesome.
So as you
Okay.
can see, the bridge is out, but it's really not an issue. We still have it to look at. Hopefully by next year it'll be fixed, but you won't notice it's not working. You can watch the parade from where you normally watch it and then drive to the camp, or you can park at the camp and watch it as it pulls through the camp. So crisis averted, problem solved.
I'm impressed. I love it. Great job.
If somebody
Okay.
only could show up, I had a quick question. If somebody could only show up for like a couple hours, what would you recommend? What time would you recommend they show up, and what would you recommend they do?
Well, it depends on what you're interested. If you're interested in eating, I would eat the White Mills famous barbecue chicken lunch in the air-conditioned hotel. If you like tractors, got lots of viewing of that. If you like cars, it's a beautiful scenic area because they're lined up in the shade all along the banks of the Nolan River. That's great to see. If you like to buy auction items, the auction's at 2 o'clock, and we'll have live music before that starts. So there's virtually something for everyone, no matter what your interest might be.
Okay.
It sounds like it. I'm super excited. I mean, I definitely want to do Friday evening because that duck race sounds really cool. But I love parades. I'm a huge parade person, And it sounds like, just to kind of finish out on what's available, we've got a car show, tractor show. I mean, there's stuff after the parade. When does it end on Saturday?
2 to 4, there'll be swimming at the White Mills Christian Camp pool. There is a lifeguard on duty. It's $5 per person. And the last item we have is the live auction from 2 to 4. But before we get to that, there is Alan Masterson. Will be doing an acoustic set. He's wrote some of his own songs. Very good, talented artist. He'll be from 1 to 2. The other activities go on throughout the day. We will have the literacy bus from the Hardin County Schools that's been at North Park Elementary. That will be for kids 8 and under. They can get on the bus, have some learning activities, and play and get a free book. Then we want to make sure that you don't miss the auction. We've got some huge auction items. And behind me, you can see the quilt. We had our White Mills historian, Henry Morrison, passed away within the last year. His family generously donated the t-shirt collection that he has. So you can see behind me the quilt, t-shirt quilt that's been made. Now, this is 30 of the 36 t-shirts that we've had. So we're honored to have that many. The first shirt and the oldest shirt I know that we have was in 1990, and we're
Wow.
still doing different t-shirts today. So that's quite a little piece of history we have for the auction.
That is. Well, so the big question everybody's got, how do I get in on this and who makes it all happen? We'll talk a little bit more. I know we talked about that kind of at the beginning, but we'll wrap up with that with Laura a little bit later. Right now, we're going to jump into Nate Bryan on what's buzzing in Hardin County business.
If business is buzzing in town, Nate already knows it's Nate's Business Buzz.
Yeah, Nate's Business Buzz.
All righty, we're gonna jump into this because I gotta get off at 2. So first thing, we do a few weeks ago, the Planning Commission was meeting. The address for O'Charlie's on North Dixie, which is next to Steak and Shake and in front of Walmart, was on there. Turns out, as I've been told by people that were there, O'Charlie's will be closing. I do not have a closing date, but O'Charlie's will be closing. The site will be flattened, and in turn, we will be getting the county's first Chipotle. So we manifest destiny that one finally. Seven Brew number 2 will be on the way. Seven Brew is already rocking and rolling on Mulberry, backing up traffic to that lovely roundabout. I went the other day, got my pictures, I got some drinks. But yeah, so I do not have an opening date for either one. I don't have hiring for either one, but I do know they will both be prefabricated. Seven Brew will not have indoor dining. I was told Chipotle would have some indoor dining and some patio dining.
Like that, right?
Rachel.
The girls ran out. Yeah, the girls ran out and got us all free
There
coffee.
you go.
So.
I went out the other day. I ate at Wendy's. I didn't know that they were doing it. And then Courtney and I came back later. It went pretty quick for us. Like, I think we were in and out in 15 minutes or something. So didn't see the backup that some people did. And people tend to forget, we remember what happened when Chick-fil-A opened. We remember how bad Dixie got. So be prepared, folks. So that is on the way. Again, don't know when O'Charlie's will close. I do know that some people said that them and Ruby Tuesday, it's hard to get gift cards anymore. So hopefully they give people a heads up so they can still use their gift cards. I think that's just good business practice, as opposed to just leaving them hanging or have to drive somewhere else to use them. All right, if you're driven by Town Mall, the other side of Dixie, lots of signs are up. Bath and Body Works has its sign up. It will be on the front left, what I call diagonal. That's where Phil and I talked about this. We have if you go to Hardin Local, you can see the whole mall breakdown. But Bath and Body Works is the front left part of the split, where they split it into two. There's a walkway that'll be down there. Right next, across from Bath and Body Works, is Vision Works, which will be moving from North Dixie next to Namaste. Their sign is up. Next to Vision Works is Sierra, which we got to excited.
Hello. Let me fix that for you guys. All right.
And Home Goods now has its sign up. Home Goods is going to be right next between Sierra and Belk. So if you're looking at Belk, Home Goods will be the immediate left. Those are all up. We do know Buckle is confirmed to be coming. Buckle is in that middle walkway that's blocked off, and I don't have a drone or a super camera. So if the sign is up for that, I don't have it. Spencer's will be going in that middle walkway as well. They are coming back. If their sign is up, I do not know. JD Sports, we know, is going in that back area, or the walkway. Basically, Finish Line Part 2. I don't know if their sign is up. I just know what I can see, and I can see the 4 signs. And I also don't know if they're ever going to be rebranded as City Center. That was originally part of it. You can go check News Enterprise. It goes way back. Once everything was said and done, it was to be rebranded as City Center. I don't know when or if that has happened. The other day, and these two are right across from each other. I don't know how all this happened. One side of the road by Central Hardin is going to be going right next to Central Hardin. The sign is already up. I think they would call it plywood, drywall. I don't know, but some sort of exterior is already up. Last time I'd been out there, it was just metal only. Now they have some sort of exterior structure. It is up. It's right next to the Central Hardin Freshman Ring and right next to Wendy's. And then right across the street, I have confirmed again, Burger 21 is the plan for Pizza Mavens. Pizza Mavens before was Texas Outlaw. Before that was Bruin's Den, which I think that's when me and John grew up with. It was Bruin's Den back in the 90s. I forget when it closed. It became Texas Outlaw. Texas Outlaw was open there and did really well. Then Texas Outlaw built this big new one. And then it was empty for a while. Then Pizza Mavens had to run there. So that is everything going on. I don't know when Burger 21 will be opening. I do know due to the setup being a pizza restaurant and just how old that building is. It dates to the 90s. So it's probably at least 30 years old by now, because I'm pretty sure it was open in 95 or 96 for me and John. So it might have been open there before that. I can't remember the exact year it opened, maybe 92, 90. I remember walking to it several times when I was a Central Hardin student. I was starting Central Hardin student.
Burger 21's
95.
You said been coming spring, and you're telling us not to hold our breath. What's the hold up with that build out? Let me rephrase that. You said Burger 21's been coming since the spring, and you're telling us not to hold our breath.
They said it could be months.
Okay.
I don't expect it in 2027 at all. Last time I took pictures in there, they still had some of the original tables from either Outlaw or Pizza Mavens. Doesn't look like any work's been done at all. I think they're just still surveying and figuring out what the renovation plan is going to be. And we all know that renovations are up right now as far as prices. The parking lot's been done, the signing's been done, the windows have been done. They haven't even formally announced it as a new location yet. So I would expect 2027 at best, but I don't expect anything in the next few months. Now, Zaxby's, I think, was shooting for fall. So I'd expect that I'm sure that Zaxby's going to try to definitely get open while school's in session, while sports is in session. That makes complete sense. But Burger 21, I don't have an opening date for.
Nate, with 4 national retail signs at the mall all at once, who else would you be expecting to see maybe come to it? And of course, you think this is probably just the beginning of kind of that comeback. Do you expect it to fill rather quickly?
Yeah, I think they will. But turning that ball inside out took a while, but I think it looks a lot better. But I like the way it looks. I like to be able to park right where you want to go and get out. I think that little walkway, it's going to have some greenery space and stuff. We'll give it some. We'll add to the ambiance. I've been told 360 is coming back, so I expect them to go in there. So there's another fashion. Phil and I talked about it whenever we did our thing. We have seen Burlington on a couple of blueprints. I think that's the big box store that people are next to Bill's. They're shooting for a big box. We do know that TJ Maxx and them have. I can see Reese's. There's a couple other ones. That Francesca's, I would think, would be maybe a fit like that. I don't know if it'd be that big, but there are similar brands that I think they're trying to bring in. But I'm pretty sure that's going to be. I think this is just me thinking Dick's Sporting Goods could fit there. So it's a very vertical spot, not a very wide spot. But we know Buckle is on the way. We have seen Dave's Hot Chicken. They are bringing in at least one restaurant, so we don't know who the restaurant is yet. But we know Chicken Salad Chick's been looking in the area. They're gonna have a landing spot. So, but yeah, I think when it's all said and done, I would bet most of them, if not all of them, are filled with somebody that they know and a name that we trust. I just don't see like a local small business taking that. Plus, we know it's the mall. Like, it's the recognizable. It's the name. When you think of North Dixie isn't North Dixie without Town Mall and Walmart. So we know the rent's probably very high, but in return, you get the mall. So.
Right. Awesome. Well, thank you, Nate. I feel like there's a lot happening. I don't know about you guys, but I'm super excited about Chipotle. I am a Chipotle fan. I cannot wait It is not the same as Qdoba. They are two different things, and I don't like when people compare them. So, of course, all the girls brought Seven Brew in. Like we are fans of Seven Brew. So all this exciting.
I think I've shared like 10 different posts about Seven Brew. People get their free drinks bought out.
We're having a great time over here at the office today. So, all right, awesome. Well, we will single you out.
Yeah. Nate's Business Buzz.
Thank you,
Later.
Bye, Nate.
See ya.
All right, guys. Well, we are on the last stretch with Laura Knoll and White Mills Days. Laura, if folks want to be a part of it, vendor maybe, or just come out, how does that all work?
If they want to be a vendor, if they'll go to the White Mills Day Facebook page, just drop us a note with your email address. We are full on our food vendors, but any other kind of vendor is more than welcome to set up. It's very reasonably priced to set up a booth there. We have tons of space, so there is no, oh, we don't have any more room. There's plenty of room for everybody. I do want to mention our food trucks, though. We have Sunny Boys Barbecue, Sunny Girls Cafe, Poncho's Mexican, and the Cupcake Caboose. All those will be there on Friday night and on Saturday. And both days, the White Mills Christian Church will be having a fundraiser. On Friday night, we'll have hamburgers and hot dogs. On Saturday or Friday night, we'll also have pork barbecue. And then on Saturday, we'll have hamburgers and hot dogs. So that's in anticipation of our new church building that will be relocated out of actually White Mills city limits.
Awesome.
There you go.
So then cost for like a family to come out, what are we looking at as far as cost for the different activities?
The only thing you're actually going to pay for kids is going to be the cakewalk, and I think it's 50 cents a walk. Pretty cheap. We have sponsors that cover all the kids zone. All the play with the kids zone is free. Like I said, as many times as you want to play, we have some terrific prizes. We have sponsors that have give away gift cards and packs. That's another thing with our auction. We do family fun packs. Very popular at the auction where we'll take a restaurant gift card with an activity, movie passes, something like that, maybe a dessert restaurant. Put those together to encourage families to maybe get a bargain on going somewhere they haven't tried out before. But we have a very supportive, Hardin County is very supportive of the efforts that we make to put on White Mills Day. So we want to thank all of our sponsors and our sponsors that you've seen up on the ads today that are sponsoring us being on the Hardin Local program.
Yeah, some of those community partners that we want to thank by name. It looks like I have a list here. Nutrient Ag Solutions in Cecilia. We got Southern States Garden Cooperative in Elizabethtown. We've got the Helena Agri Enterprises. Of course, local businesses that have also supported would be Scott Knowles Auto Care and Tilted Elephant Studio in Elizabethtown. The churches of White Mills, we've got St. Ignatius Catholic Church. We've got the White Mills Baptist Church and the White Mills Christian Church. And it looks like Sheriff John Ward, who is, of course, making sure that we have safer streets and a stronger community. So that's quite a lineup. Did I miss anyone there?
It is St. Ignatius is
Thank you.
the Catholic Church. You're welcome.
Thank you. I was reading that off. I'm like, I don't want to get this wrong. So perfect. Well, this sounds like an incredible event. One that I think dials back to kind of what I experienced from my childhood, which was just good family fun. And there's not a lot of these kinds of events that are offered, especially basically free of cost. I mean, besides what you eat and maybe buying a couple ducks, I think it's very budget friendly. So I just want to thank you guys. I know that a ton of work is going into it, to every single volunteer that is making it happen, to all the sponsors. I'm just highly impressed. So when is White Mills Day? August 14th and 15th.
August 14th and 15th at the White Mills Christian Camp. Old 84 is how it's listed if you Google it. But it's easy to get to. To get on the WK Parkway, you're going to take the White Mills exit. At the end of the ramp, you're going to go to the left, and then there'll be a sign that says White Mills Christian Camp. When you get about a mile down, you're going to turn left again, and the road dead ends right at the camp.
Well, Laura, thank you so much for joining us this week and telling us all. I've never been, and I had no idea. So this was very informative, and I will be there and be excited to share it with my family and friends. So thank you.
You're welcome. That's what makes Hardin Local fantastic, though. It reaches an audience that may not have been, may not have moved here, lived here all your life like I have. So it's reaching an audience that's seeing things that there are different things out there for families.
Couldn't agree more. Thank you. All right, guys. Well, Laura, thank you so much. It is now my turn. I've been gone for a couple weeks, but the market, it kept right on moving. So we will jump into our housing market update.
Or you can feel free to stick around, or you can drop off. Let me get your jingle go.
Can't start without it.
Rachel's got the numbers. Who's buying? Who's selling? What's hot on the block? Update.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to jump into our housing market update. As always, I'm Rachel Brantingham with the Brantingham Group of Keller Williams Heartland. Every week, I look forward to breaking down the numbers for you, but I also have found it so much fun to break down the numbers for not only myself as I operate in real estate on a daily basis, but also for my team. And so it's so interesting because we've started to watch the trends, as I'm sure you guys are as well. I'll talk to clients and they're like, yeah, we are specifically considering selling because of what we watched on Hardin Local. So if you're ever curious to see the real trends in real life with the graphs that Bill has created, make sure you go to Hardin County or hardinlocal.com housing market update. It's all on the website. But let's jump into today's numbers. All the information I bring to you guys is located on the Hardin Kentucky MLS, specific to the last week, which is the 14th to the 21st. We do cover a 30-day time period in some of our numbers. So I'll just jump right in. So we had 34 new listings that came to the market last week. 23 homes went under contract and 20 families moved into their new home. 3 listings expired and 7 sellers withdrew their homes from the market. That leaves us with 429 active listings across Hardin County. Looking at the last 30 days, the average list price is $355,958. Average sold price, this was an interesting one, $1,403. That is the tightest gap we have seen all year. That is the tightest list to sold gap. So, it's exciting because sellers are getting a lot more close, a lot closer to like what they actually are listing for in return on their property. Median sold price in all of Hardin County is $290.45. Our highest sale from last week. This was something I added. I don't think we'll have this posted on the graphs on hardinlocal.com, but this is just, I thought it was an interesting thing. The highest sale from last week was $1,446,500, with the lowest sale being an even $100,000. Homes are averaging 80 days on market. This is an interesting stat, guys, because we've been sitting in the low 70s for a long time, and we have now jumped up to 80 days on market for a couple of reasons. One, July 4th is the most traveled holiday of the entire year. A lot of people have been out of town. Also, the weeks surrounding July 4th are the biggest vacationing time frame of the year. I know everybody I talk to, they're either gone on vacation, returning from vacation, or getting ready to go. So, it's just a busy time of year. Everybody's out with kiddos doing fun things. And so I do expect over the next couple of weeks there to be a little bit of a push on real estate again, because I think as people return home, kind of that realization that, oh my goodness, school's about to start. Then we experience the holiday season, and we don't want to be in this home for another Christmas or another Thanksgiving or another New Year's. And also, they might even realize, hey, we're not in the right school district that we want to be in long term. So I expect to see another push before we reach kind of that seasonal slowdown that is a holiday time. So sellers right now are receiving 96.75% of their asking price. That's pretty darn good. I think 2 things are happening here. One, sellers are getting more realistic on what the sales price actually needs to be to move their property. And so because they're being more realistic, they're actually getting more for their home. Yes, I can hear you guys. I mean, I don't mind at all. You're good. Inventory has increased just slightly, guys. So we were sitting at like 3.2 months of inventory. We have jumped up to 3.7 months of inventory. I think, of course, that's just kind of par for the season. That is based on 116 homes sold over the past 30 days. What we have seen in our day-to-day operations, and it's showing up in the numbers, is that buyers are becoming increasingly selective. So we're no longer in an environment where nearly every home sells immediately with multiple offers. We haven't been there for a very long time. Instead, what we're seeing is that buyers are taking their time. They're really comparing the home. So with 429 active listings across Hardin County, and those are broken down into different price points, which I'll go over here in a minute. But it's giving people a lot of options, and so people are being very specific. So I wanted to break this down into a couple price categories here for us. So under 250,000, this is one of the strongest segments of our market. Of course, anything under that 299, which is the average, is the median sold price in Hardin County. It obviously moves a little bit faster. There are 105 active homes. 41 of those are pending. 37 sold, an average of 71 days on market. That is over the last 30 days. 250 to 400. This remains kind of the heart of our market. 206 active homes, 71 pending over the last 30 days, 55 sold. So if you're selling in this price range and your home is priced correctly, buyers are absolutely still out there and moving quickly on those properties. 400 to 800,000. This market is very balanced right now. So buyers have options and they're willing to wait for the right home. Presentation, pricing, and marketing matter more than ever. And then if we jump into that luxury market, which is over 800,000, there are only 15 active homes priced above the 800,000 number, but only one home currently pending and 5 closings in the last 30 days above that price point over the past month. So luxury buyers are still purchasing, but they're patient, informed, and looking for exceptional value. So what's the number that I'm really watching this week as we head into next week? 80 days on market. I would like to see that number adjust back down now that we've headed out of the July 4th and vacation holidays. But it tells me one thing: pricing is more important than timing. Okay. So pricing your property right is really going to help it stand out. One last little thing: mortgage rates continue to hover in the mid sixes, depending on your credit. So there's not much change there. We've seen them pretty much sit at in the same range now for multiple months. So if you're buying, you have more choices than you've ever had in quite some time. That means more negotiating power, less competition, and the ability to be more selective. If you're selling, today's buyers are paying for value, not potential. The homes that are priced correctly and professionally marketed continue to sell. Those that aren't are sitting longer. And as soon as they start sitting, you need to identify that quickly and price correct. Otherwise, you'll be headed into the holidays still holding on to your property. All right, guys. Well, whether you're buying your first home, moving up, downsizing, or simply wondering what your property is worth in today's market, understanding what's happening locally is the first step. If you'd like to know what these numbers mean for your neighborhood or your home specifically, I'd love to help. I'm Rachel Brantingham with the Brantingham Group of Keller Williams.
Rachel's got the numbers. Who's buying? Who's selling? What's hot on the block?
I think
All right,
Britain's
perfect. Well,
having a little
Heck-
internet issue.
yeah, it looks like, oh, maybe he's back on. Britain.
Waiting on for a minute because we have a
Alright.
video while we're waiting on him. Talk about what we've done because I don't know if we actually discussed it. They went and made a video at Kroger
Phil, can you hear Britain? I can hear Britain.
in the back. He left. And then I don't see him in the.
Well, he just popped back on at right underneath you on this main screen, and he was talking.
Oh yeah, I disabled it, and then I'm just waiting for him to join back because me and him were just talking on Messenger, and he said so. I'll give him a couple more.
It might actually be a tech issue because he was just here talking.
Oh,
to
I
us.
know. I saw him, and me and him were just talking, so we're just giving him another minute to come back in.
Okay.
Because I can see. Hey, everybody, we have a new video system. We're working out the bugs on it too, so we can hear each other in the background, and sometimes it's not on screen. That's what Rachel's little hiccup was a minute ago. I was trying to tell Scott something, whisper mode, and it somehow ended up in her ear too, which is probably very practical.
Talking about Rachel or saying anything mean. It's
No, it was funny. I just couldn't tell who could hear it. I'm like, I was dying laughing actually inside. I was like, this is too funny.
Yes, so we'll give him a couple more minutes. We'll see if he does, or another minute or two. But we have
Is there
a video.
a video that we can watch?
We can, but we're gonna have to do our own voiceover because there's no audio to it. So I was hoping that Britain would be on there. All right, but in the meantime, while we're waiting on him, I guess we can go ahead and check the comments.
Yeah, let's do that.
See what else. David Mather, thank you very much, David, for helping me figure out about that audio issue with Nate. Nate's audio was a little low at the beginning, and I was able to fix that because of David. But appreciate that. And you guys, audience, do a great job of that. Feel free to always drop it in the comments. having it so we can get. Sometimes they usually can tell the difference, but not often. There we go.
We're here.
That's great. Well, we're ready for you. Let's get over here.
Skin of my teeth, right?
Oh, look at that. Oh, you guys can't see it. If you're on Facebook, you'll be able to see. We have a new screen. But anyway, go ahead, Britton, and let us know what you're
What do I need to let you know? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
I'm here.
Just wanted you to go ahead and set up what we're going to be watching.
Okay, so, the Experience Eater is all about the food experience. And so, that also involves some time in the kitchen for me. And Michelle, we definitely like to entertain, like to cook. And so, I guess it was Sunday night, we decided to go out and take a look at the new Kroger out there on Ring Road, because with such a big facility with everything they have, we want to check out what they had for specialty items, grab, eat and eat, grab and go. And so we got a little walkthrough coming from the Kroger, and I'm gonna tell you something. I was impressed. Of course, the last grocery store walkthrough that we did was Jungle Gyms up in Cincinnati, and so Kroger, the new Kroger is not a Jungle Gyms by any means, but I was impressed. They've got all kinds of stuff for about anything you need. So the setup is the parking lot's a little crazy, which I guess Rachel, in the real estate world is designing parking lots left up to somebody that has no understanding of flow and efficiency. Between the traffic circle, the 37 ins and outs on the turns, it was a little bit of an adventure on parking. But once we got in the store, man, we saw some phenomenal things.
I haven't made it over there yet, but I'm super excited to go.
You're about to see a little bit. Let's roll in. Now, there's not a lot of audio on this, which is kind of good because I was having issues with it. So we're going to be voiceovering it. I can't really pause it either. I haven't figured that out yet. This is the first one we've done we weren't in person. This is the first remote one we've done with this software. So if you tell me to mute, if you tell me to pause, I won't really be able to. So let's get it.
Hey guys, Experience Eater here. We're in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, and we're going to come check out the big, bad, brand new Kroger. So let's go see what they have for us.
Can you, Britton?
No, I can't see it. I haven't seen anything that's been put up all day.
All right. Yeah, that's right. I have a different way of doing it. All right. We're going to do it this way. The screen's going to be a little smaller, but at least everybody else will be able to.
Hey guys, Experience Eater here. We're in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, and we're going to come check out the big, bad, brand new Kroger. So let's go see what they have for us. Depending on what part of the world it is, it's not Kroger. It could be. I know a lot of people that call it the K-Roger.
I've never heard that one. So what they got here? Sushi? Yeah.
This looks like this is a lot of some of what I call grab and go stuff. So they've got sushi. There's a chicken counter. They've got a big deli. In these fresh fruit bowls. For somebody that's busy and on the go, I mean, this place is set up perfectly. 4 or 5 o'clock, roll in, grab what you need, go home, feed yourself, feed the family, and be ready to go. So I mean, I think that's going to be a big approach or a big appeal to them. Being able to do that, but they also have they've got a very big cheese section. Here I'm at the butcher section, and I'm actually having a custom cut done. This is a whole bone-in pork loin. I saw this at one of my favorite food reviews that we've done this year at B&N Market. Now here they've got all kinds of kitchen supplies and wares. That's pretty cool. There's not really a kitchen supply store unless you go to a Restaurant Depot or something like that. So to have a big selection like that's pretty cool that you need. And then, of course, you get into dairy. The produce department is huge. And I mean, I saw a little bit of everything. Everything looked great, looked fresh. And so, I think that's one of the things that when you have a big building, big operation like this Kroger, I think the variety is one of the things that will draw a lot of people, because they have those unique and specialty items that you're not going to be able to get at the corner market or at the, running in. The bakery and some of the, like I said, the grab and go stuff looks phenomenal. And overall, is it somewhere I'm going to go shop every week? Probably not, just because I'm in the north end of the county. But if I need something special for an event, or I need something special for a meal that I've got planned for somebody, I think that it's a place that you can go and definitely have a little more variety. Some of those specialty things, I think 2 or 3 aisles of pasta that have that as an option, somewhere that I can go and be able to get what we need, entertaining or planning that next event. for us.
Like custom cuts at the grocery store butcher counter. That's a real throwback. What did you get, and was it actually different from the case?
So what it is, it's an entire pork loin. So pork loins come and it's like the back part of the pig, and and then you've got the T-bone looking pork chops are there in the front. And then you get back into just like the single bone, and then you get into just the pork loin. And so this was a Berkshire pork loin they had. I had them cut it to where basically it's going to be bone in like kind of like a New York strip or one half of a T-bone. And I'm going to roast the whole thing on the smoker, and then I'll be able to then serve it by the bone and carve it up to go along with it. I saw this being done at a restaurant called B&N Market. It's out in Baghdad. They're all over social media, blowing up right now, and that's how they do their smoked pork chop dinner. I've done one before, and I had to go to Louisville to a butcher shop up there to find it. So being able to get that same and actually get a little higher grade. It's not your standard pork because it's an import. So it's got a little more fat, a little more flavor. Michelle is working behind me. She said that I need to tell y'all that it's an import, not an import, an import. She said, and I'm excited to try this loin and see how it goes.
We look forward. Maybe make a little video and we'll show it whenever you do cook it or pre-record. When you do it, we'll throw it up
For
on
sure,
the show.
for sure. Well, hey, I've got that Pit Boss smoker, and so now this whole summer's been all about barbecue and pork. So that's the new thing I'm learning right now.
Scott, you have a question?
I was going to say, Cassie and I. Hold on a second. How's that better?
We can hear you. Can you not hear us? Scott, you're good.
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, I thought I messed with something. But anyways, Cassie and I went there Saturday. It looks really big enough to like people can like go walk around like they did with Town Mall. So I wonder how many people probably go there to walk there like a gym like they used to do there, but big enough to do that.
It's definitely big enough to get some steps in, for sure. And it was funny while we were there. We had several people that saw me shooting content and filming, and they came up and said that they asked, "Hey, when's that going to be? Is that going to be on the podcast, or is that going to be on your YouTube?" They wanted to know when it was going to be, and they said hello. They want to know where we were going to go eat next, and of course, after the Kroger trip, we went up to the Baskin Robbins across the street. But it was really funny.
I think
it's that's pretty cool when we run into the Hardin local fans and then also the experienced Cedar fans.
very much. What was this other? You said you're going back to those butchers when I'm done. I think you said when I'm done a little smoking. What's going? Well, we already discussed that. So this question, forget that question. You already answered it. You, Rachel.
Well, it looks huge as advertised and apparently good for your step count. Britton and Michelle, thank you guys for going. Because I've been out of town, I haven't made it over there yet, but I've been watching all the new videos, and I think us girls are gonna make a date out of it. Like, how funny is that? But I'm just so excited to go over there and get to experience what everybody's been talking about. So it looks like a cool place. Thank you, Britton and Michelle. I heard Michelle's voice in the background, so
Yeah,
Michelle.
she's working on our live sale for tonight. So that's the next thing. That's our next project. So like I said, it's just me and her on day to day right now, and so I'm having to wear many hats and be in multitask.
Well, thank you very much, Britton. We appreciate you guys. All right,
sounds
guys. Well, before we wrap up, of course, Phil, Britton, is there any additional comments that we didn't make it to earlier?
There's some, but we don't really have time to go.
Okay.
Thank you for your
Perfect.
comments. Usually we have time, but today we just.
Yeah. Perfect. All right, guys. Well, here's how to stay connected with Hardin Local. HardinLocal.com. You make sure to go there, sign up, subscribe. You're not going to want to miss the weekly events calendar, every episode, segment, articles, housing page, and newsletter. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. You can't escape us. Follow us. The big reminders, the Unclaimed Property Roadshow is Friday from 10 to 1 at the Hardin County Government Center, or I did it with seconds, treasury.ky.gov. Super, super easy. $11.3 million of unclaimed money. That's crazy. Of course, Beard America is Saturday at the Legion for the Animal Rescue, and Circle August 14th and 15th for White Mills Days. It's the 51st annual event. Phil, Scott, you all lasted till the end. Thank you. Nate, Britton, and Michelle, and John. Appreciate all of y'all being here today. And guys, thanks for holding down the fort while I was out with my kids. So, and to everyone watching, thank you for being part of the Hardin local community. We'll see you back here next Tuesday, same time, same place. Until then, support local, stay connected, and enjoy everything happening right here in Hardin County. Have a great week, everyone.
Great week,
Be
everyone.
nice. Peace out.
Be nice and kind, right?
Yep, be nice and kind.